We are Europe. We are independent and free, full of life and energy. This is why we are fresh, dynamic, and exciting. We are ready to shape the future with the rest of the Europeans. We share one and the same destiny in the heart of Europe. All for one for all.
The delegation leader of the Visegrad Four will be joining us now. He is a lawyer, but not only does he know the law, but he knows the insides of the multinational world and has worked with major pharmaceutical companies, ladies and gentlemen, and then risen up in the world of Hungarian politics. Please welcome Balazs Rakossy, the State Secretary for the Ministry of National Economy and the delegation leader of the Visegrad Four. Mr. Rakossy, please join us. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. President Ivanov, dear Minister Elvan, dear Chairman Altuntas, dear distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation to participate on this forum here in Istanbul. It's a real honor and privilege to welcome you here on behalf of the Visegrad Four countries and on behalf of Hungary, in Istanbul, in the capital of the Ottoman Empire and the gateway of East and West. The Visegrad cooperation goes back to the 14th century, when the first Congress of the Visegrad was established in 1335, when the Czech King John I of Bohemia, Charles I of Hungary, and Casimir III of Poland convened not for anything, but against the Habsburg monarchy. The renewal 27 years ago renewed the Visegrad cooperation, and this is now for something for cooperation in order to increase the potential of our countries. This is a region with strong economic potential. The Visegrad countries, or the V4 region, as we call ourselves, is in the heart of Central Europe, composed of the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, and the Slovak Republic. It has a strong economic output comparable to Turkey and remarkable per capita GDP growth. On average, following the 2008 financial crisis, the OECD area grew by 10%, while the Visegrad countries achieved in the same time a GDP growth of nearly twice as much, 20%. The productivity growth shows similar pattern with 2-3 times higher performance in the V4 area than the OECD, the USA, or the EU. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, increasing productivity across all business sectors remains a challenge in many countries today. In the past few years, more than before, productivity growth differences widened between the frontier, mostly global firms, and the small and medium-sized enterprises. Raising the productivity level is key to catching up in the economies of Central and Eastern Europe. The history of the Visegrad region marks frequent changes in economic and social systems. Consequently, and contrary to the developed economies, these countries had shorter peaceful periods to accumulate capital. Nevertheless, these countries, along with the Baltic states, demonstrate that the lack of physical capital can be a motivating factor, especially if creativity is also present. In the V4 countries, business sector research and development expenditures as a percent of GDP have grown in the past 10 years. The growth has been outstanding in the Czech Republic and Hungary. Nevertheless, mostly, large enterprises accounted for the growth of R&D investments, whereas many examples from the past demonstrate that the main engine of innovation is the birth and fast growth of innovative technological startups. In the Visegrad countries, we shape the view that the government can play an active role in order to increase the probability of success, Governments provide support and incentives for strengthening the research infrastructure, to integrate national research institutions to the European networks, and or build up university-academia relationships. However, the key to long-term growth is certainly in the hands of the business community. I would like to highlight 3 aspects which will form the basis of every successful business venture. First, entrepreneurial skills and spirit. The personal qualities, the motivation, risk-taking ability, market competence are indispensable. The second, in the time of rapidly evolving technological and market environment, the organizational model and the future business plans are the key factors involving the detailed knowledge of the market and the ability to deal with constant and sudden changes. And finally, the most important external factor is access to finance and access to domestic and foreign markets. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, in order to enhance these future business leaders, Hungary and the whole V4 region continuously improves the business environment. In Hungary, a broad range of financial instruments are available, large-scale ICT investments have been implemented, and there have been a substantial cut in the corporate tax rate recently. For the Hungarian government, the early introduction of the 5G technology is a priority. The startup ecosystem is also flourishing in Poland, the Czech Republic, and in Slovakia. For example, Google opened a campus in Poland where innovative firms can network. Venture capital plays an increased role to the Czech Republic in recent years. Tesla Hyperloop technology may first be implemented in Slovakia. In the whole region, the volume of early-stage venture capital investments is remarkable. Although Hungary alone is small, with 10 million inhabitants, the Visegrad region has substantial weight in the European economy and is already one of the engines of growth in the EU, which surpassed 4% in the region, heading another 4% growth in this year. The cooperation of the Visegrad countries has a history of nearly 27 years, and for the 5th time Hungary has the honor to hold the rotating presidency of the Visegrad Group. From July last year to June this year, Hungary is holding the rotating presidency. The countries constituting the V4 has been actively representing regional interest while contributing to the prosperity and stability of the European continent via their economic performance. The motto of the Hungarian presidency is V4 Connects. Reflects the significant positive impact of the Visegrad cooperation in connecting the 4 countries in terms of politics, economy and culture, while also referring to the presidency's focus on tasks related to connectivity, improving energy and transport links, and working on a well-connected, innovative region ready for the digital age. In this presidential year, one of our priorities is creating an innovative, well-connected region ready for the digital age. We recognize that the immediate and fundamental digitalization of our education systems is inevitable in terms of the chances of emerging generations on the labor market, thus encourages all initiatives in the region aimed at improving digital skills. The strengthening of the region's ability to attract talents is a key factor in building up startup ecosystems. Several educational and training programs have been launched, therefore, in the sphere of Industry 4.0, focusing on the technology fields of data sciences and artificial intelligence. We pay special attention to the elaboration of EIT, digital professional school programs, as well as the creation of university-based spin-offs, startup companies, and the speeding up of accelerator programs strengthening the innovation systems of the V4 region. Furthermore, the V4 presidency initiates the establishment of a V4 smart platform with the aim to create an interoperable e-services that can be jointly introduced in all V4 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, At the beginning of this year, halfway through the Hungarian V4 presidency, we have already done a great progress in these fields. The V4 Startup and Innovation Tour was one of the most important startup events in our region. The closing conference was in Budapest last December, with more than 600 participants, such as local and regional startup firms, investors, incubation organizations, business people, politicians, and investing angels. It was the first time that the Startup and Innovation Award of Hungary was given, thanks to which the winners can travel to Vienna to a pioneer event, the largest venture capital meeting in Europe, and in its first quarter of 2018, get access to the Google's launch platform dedicated to assess the startups. We hope that the launching of the Startup Campus V4 World Tour will help introducing hundreds of innovative, marketable startups and draw attention to one of the fastest growing regions in Europe. I hope that our World Business Angels Investment Forum here in Istanbul will be a great success. We will be able to push forward our agenda and strengthen the investment ecosystem. The forum will discuss how the V4 countries, together with Turkey and global investors, can collaborate on identifying and connecting key players of the scientific, industrial, and economic sector to jointly improve an innovative entrepreneurship ecosystem. Best practices will be shared in our forum on how to facilitate the transformation of public money to smart money, whereas how institutions can foster startups and how real startups can evolve. We, both in Hungary and the V4, are ready for the challenge to cooperate and work closely with Turkey in order to make progress and achieve a better financial environment for small and medium-sized companies and startup companies. Thank you very much again for the initiation of this forum and for the invitation to this fantastic city, to Istanbul. I wish you all success to the forthcoming 2 days during the forum, and I hope that you will achieve what you have already planned. Thank you very much for your attention.